Good evening. Welcome to the Committee of the Whole and Finance for Wadsworth City Council. It's Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025 at 6:10 p.m. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Copley?
Here.
Hines? Here. Parrish?
Here.
Renacci? Here. Rosberg?
Here.
Stugmeyer?
Here.
Your check is out, and Williams.
Here. You've all had the opportunity to look at the minutes from the Committee of the Whole Finance from August 19th, 2025. May I have a motion to approve them?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
Okay. One abstention. The minutes have been approved. Brings us to draft legislation. Tonight we have one item. I'd like to take that. It's about our insurance.
Our service directors.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. So this particular financial warrant is in reference to the city's insurance program update for 25 through 26, actually. Our program renews at the end of July of every year, traditionally. And so a little bit of background about how that process works for you without getting into too much detail about the city's insurance program for purpose. So first and foremost, we use a brokerage which actually goes out and solicits and negotiates program quotes from different insurers. And then they bring that back to us. It's usually myself, in recent years, Mr. Testa also, and they present those quotes to us. They actually work closely with the insurance entities because, as you might imagine, insurance companies want to capture the most experience they can that the city might have. Obviously, that helps them evaluate risk and helps them create their quotes for us to review. So they need the longest period of time to most accurately understand what's happening at a city level and what's potentially happening in future claim matters, as well as some historical claim matters. The results that they provide to us come very close in time to the brokerage, to the time in which they present to us. So there's not many days in between those times, quite honestly, before we meet with the brokers and review the policies. We don't have policy quotes in advance of that particular meeting. The new insurance program is really a presentation, and until the actual policy period ends, they don't give us much information or much detail whatsoever, quite honestly. The brokers really understand the process and the resulting impacts of waiting so long. They realize that we don't have the ability to turn around a PO the same day in which they present the program to us. In addition, they know that while we can give them an honest answer to say, yes, please bind the city to that new program, or no, do not bind the city to that new program, they don't expect payment right then. In fact, in discussions we've had with the brokerage team, they probably give us at least 30 days to make any payment on the new program, just because they know they haven't given us any numbers. We don't have any of that in place really to move forward with. We do budget for the insurance program. Every year there's items in the budget. You can go back and look at your budget histories and see that. This year was no different. We do expect to expend dollars which we have appropriated for that reason, but we don't know the final program insurance amount. The reason being is we don't know what they look at in terms of the results of their analysis, which usually requires things like claims experience, pending litigation matters, changes in the industry and the coverage rates, and all of those potentially requiring budget adjustments by us in order to pay the binding agreement policy. So just a little bit of background about this particular warrant and our process and what we go through with the insurance program.
So are you saying that our pricing went up $343,000 this year?
I am not saying that, actually. Our price increase actually went up $24,000 for the entire program.
24,000 overall?
24,000, yep.
Okay. Okay.
And what was that percentage overall of the overall?
I can give that to you. Based upon a year-to-year comparison from 24-25's program, It was an 8.4% increase.
What's the industrial average for municipalities?
Do not know the answer to that. This is a very good offer, I would say, Mr. Test. I don't know if you recall anything. It was below what they had seen with other entities, and despite some of the things that are happening with us in the insurance forum, it was an extremely competitive quote program.
Would you agree the number of litigation cases and stuff that we've had over the last years contributing to that 8.4%?
I would tend to agree with that, Mr. Copley, yes.
Thank you.
Has Wadsworth been around for a while? How long has the city been using them?
A long time, I believe. I know they were being used when I first joined the city in 2008, Mr. Renacci, and I believe they had been our broker for some time before that. And they are a leader in municipal brokerages. I'm sorry, Mr. Copley.
It was back in the 80s they started.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? And administration, what would you like us to do with this legislation?
We would like to get it paid as soon as possible.
I agree. Mr. Rosberg?
Sure.
Try and suspend and call.
Sure.
That'll be ordinance number 25-123.
Mr. Renacci, you have a question?
Yeah, just, again, the only thing confusing, it's only up 8%, which is good. So this amount, this $343,000 is the payment. I just want to make sure I understand. This is the down payment?
That is the total amount of the program costs for the year.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And we budgeted how much?
I think it was Mr.
Yeah,
Contessa.
so when we do the tax budget and when we do the AP budget, we put an estimate for the increase. The estimate this year was a 10% increase, so this came in slightly below that.
Any other questions? All right, Mr. Rosberg, we'll handle that. Do you have a number?
Yes, that was ordinance 25-123.
1, 2, 3. Then we have city council agenda review. Looking at 25-118, that's the expanding the outdoor refreshment area, DORA. Ms. Hines, you're going to take that for, okay, and just move that to third. We have a public hearing on that. Ordinance 25-120, Mr. Parrish.
Third.
Move it to third. Ordinance number 25-121, Mr. Stugmeyer.
We'll call that tonight. We had a recommendation for 2 readings on that.
Any questions from council on any of these? Comments? Okay. We'll try that. Ordinance 25-116, Ms. Hines.
Call.
Then 25-104, Councilmember Stugmeyer.
Yeah, we have the amended ordinance that we had here with the, which changed the prices from inside the city to outside the city. That's in everybody's packet here. So we'll amend that ordinance, and because we're changing the prices tonight, instead of voting on that, let's move that to 5th.
If I could ask one question on that. Mr. Testa's been great at, hearing me out and, making the changes and stuff and everything like that. But one thing that really concerns me with this ordinance is we're still losing money in our cable system. I mean, how can we continue to lose money? And, I mean, the residents, the taxpayers are the ones that's supplementing this, okay? This is supposed to be an enterprise fund.
It is an enterprise fund, and what we're talking about is losing money on one particular service.
Well, we've got a couple services that I feel we're losing money on, the telephone service and the cable service.
Yeah.
So we just keep building this up, okay? We just keep losing money, and it just doesn't make sense to me.
So 2 things. One is that say, well, then why not increase the rates to cover everything? Well, because we're in the process of switching from cable to streaming. So every month that passes, there are fewer people on the cable system and more on the streaming system. And we don't want to raise the prices to the point that some of the people that are on the cable system now will choose a different provider before they have an opportunity to move to the streaming system. So broadly speaking, at an average, our cost of content is about $35 less per month on the streaming platform than it is on cable. So the decision was made to reduce the losses, but to set new prices that were hopefully not going to jar people and cause them to look for another provider, and then we might not get them back as a streaming customer.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Yes.
It's kind of interesting because cable's been a dying animal for years. And there probably should have come a time where we said, oh, we need to exit instead of riding it out, because now we're going to ride it all the way out, and we're going to have a lot of embedded costs lost at this point, right? I mean,
No, and I mean, we've started the transition now. Ideally, within 2 years, we'll be done with cable altogether.
but looking back, we probably needed to get out of this a little sooner, because, yeah, I mean, nobody uses cable anymore. I mean, I'm not sure how many households, everybody's streaming these days, so where are we at on the internet side? Because is that a profitable side?
It is, and really, so the project that we have that you'll hear us refer to as the fiber project, or sometimes fiber to the home project. Really, we're able to reduce our content costs on the video by a point that adds about another $1 million a year to the bottom line once everybody's converted over. In terms of the internet, yeah, I mean, we look at we set pricing for the internet and the streaming TV. We look at competitor rates, we look at our costs. We build all of that in and run the financial projections. And yeah, I mean, we think that, not only are we competitive, meaning amongst the lowest rates, but, we've got pretty much better service, and, the packages that we're offering are considerably faster than what you experienced on cable. So it's unique in that as a municipality. I think we have a competitive advantage with regard to this. But we started looking at, building the fiber project probably 3 years ago, I mean, shortly after I started. So it took a while to get to the point when we really kind of identified, designed the network, went through the RFP process to find a contractor, onboarded them, and we've been in about a year and a half into the contractor's work. So there's two pieces to that. There's the aerial areas, which is where you see the lines going across, like in telephone poles. That area is relatively quick to do. It's more time consuming to do the underground areas, where you basically have to dig underground, pull out, we call that wrecking out, pull out the old cable and then run new fiber through that. So that's a longer process. The project itself, we anticipate will be about 3 years. And part of the reason for that is the goal was to keep our fund balance at positive throughout the program, and not go into a negative balance. Ride it out and then see that balance start to increase significantly at the end of the project.
Cool. Going back to cable, is there any way of shedding cable sooner than 3 years, maybe to an outside provider?
Well, the issue would be for anybody that is on cable now, we could lose them as a customer. Oftentimes these customers also have our internet services and other services as well. So that's the risk. It's also fair to say that.
I'm talking about a price. I'm talking about at a value added. There are cable companies that might have an interest. What I'm saying is a value to the city.
It's possible. We've not looked at that. But I would agree with you that, I think there's a shortened period in a sense of, we look at the kind of the cable users as going like this. So, we've not looked at that, but
I think
Probably something.
part of it is the, you lose a customer, and then the other is the time frame. It's a short time frame as far as the turnover. By the time that they'll get changed over to the streaming, we're probably talking a year and a half for some of the ones on the outside. So you're talking a fairly short period of time, and you're also talking about the potential of losing a customer. I think the main thing is trying to keep the customers that we do have and transition them over to streaming. So
There's probably a way, though, of doing that. That's another reason I'm saying that. There are some cable companies that are going to try and survive, and it doesn't hurt to at least get some value out of it, because I think you will admit that as time goes on, the value is going to be zero, and we're going to continue to have the losses on the way. So probably should be at least evaluated.
So if I might question, how many customers do we have that have our internet and still, or excuse me, have our internet and streaming now, even though it's not fiber? Do you know?
I don't have that combination in front of me, but I can certainly get it.
Okay.
Sure.
How many do have just our cable TV and not our internet? Because that's the only ones that would lose, as I understand it. Because you can switch over from, if you have our cable, you can, or our internet, you can get our streaming right now.
Good. No surprise that, typically the cable customers tend to be older, less, they don't want to change as much. They're maybe not as current on technology. But, that's the fear that, driving them away, if they have the internet service or other services, that they're just going to say, okay, let's break away from all of that, and I'll just look at, someone else that, can provide that.
Now, Mr. Testa, in the changeover period here, if the cable prices go up, there's not that many people that are on streaming on the cable, so the bandwidth is still there to where if they would want to switch over until the fiber is installed in their house, they could, and take advantage of the lower prices, correct?
They could.
Even though they still have the cable. Now, if everybody did it, there'd be a bandwidth problem, obviously, but right now, if anybody does want to switch over, from when the rates do, if we do pass this and they go up, people can switch over until the fiber is run to their house.
They could.
All right, we're going to fifth reading on that, so we have a few weeks. Oh, I'm sorry.
I did not hear, is the streaming profitable right now?
Well, it's profitable in a sense that it's, we have a profit margin in comparison to the cost. And I want to say I actually do have that number.
I'm not following you. Are we bringing in more money than it's costing us?
Well, so gross revenues will decrease because we're selling product at a lower price, but the cost of content will decrease by a larger margin. So instead of losing money on each customer, we'll be making money on each customer.
Currently? On streaming? Currently on streaming, are we making money on
Yes.
each customer? Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions?
And I would also add that, each month we estimate with our current base that this would generate about $30,000 or reduce our monthly losses on the services by about $30,000. So I would just ask, the council makes up their mind at their earliest convenience to consider adopting those rates if they need.
What is our loss exactly? Do we have any idea? I mean, this is going to reduce it $30,000 a month, but what is our monthly loss at this present time?
Yes.
It's 50 or 60, I think, I forget.
Yeah, so right now, as an example, our cost for basic cable, we sell that for 27. The cost of content is 35. For the enhanced package of cable, we sell that for 84. The cost of content has risen to 114. And then for the digital plus package, 104 is the selling price, 121 is the cost of content. With the streaming, the lowest package price would be at $35 sales price, 31 for the content. The core package would be sold for $80, and our cost of content would be $50. And this is per subscriber per month. The core plus would sell for $99, and our cost of content would be $60. And then the streaming premium, so we have 3 cable channels, but there'll be 4 of the streaming offerings, would sell for 110, and our cost of content would be 90. So on each of those, each of the cable tiers, we're losing money per customer. On each of the streaming tiers, we would be generating a profit per customer per subscriber.
I don't think that answers the question.
No.
I think the question is, if we're making up $30,000 with the streaming, how much are we, that's a big number, not individual customers. What are we totally spending on content on cable versus what we're receiving on cable?
We're just the net number.
Yeah.
We're losing. What's the net loss? And then take the 30,000 away, and what's the loss after the 30,000?
That was my question. What's our loss?
Right. Not per individual.
So let me run some numbers and put that together. Sure.
Thank
We'll
you.
move this to 50. I thought it was 50.
Okay. Anything else? Ordinance number 25113, Councilmember Hines.
I can call that.
Do you have any more questions on that, Councilmember Copley? We're good? Okay. We'll call that one. And 25094, again, Councilmember Hines.
What does the committee want to do?
I'm still waiting for a response from the law director's office, so I'd like to see that moved to 6th reading.
Okay.
I'll move it to 6th.
Can do that. All right. And then we have one more item, Council Rule 24. It's concerning the TIFs. Did everybody have a chance to review that? Any questions or comments? Yes.
I would just make the comment, I think it's good that residential projects, and we talked about this at the last meeting, it should be, and I like the way this is written, it should be of value to the city. There should be something that is significant to the city. If you're going to do a residential system, whether it's a water line roof up on a small term project or whatever, something that's going to have a value. But hopefully down the road, and I know this is one of the reasons why years ago we said no residential, is it should not be used for pump stations and all the other things that are really the cost of the development, not something, but if it can improve the city and improve the city's infrastructure, I think that's a good idea, and I think this is good the way it's written.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? All
Looks
right.
good to me.
How do you want to handle that?
If they approve, then you can make a motion during council and we'll
Okay.
approve the new Rule 24.
Getting it down here.
I'll have to add that.
Add it? Okay.
Yep.
All right, very good. Any other business? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We're adjourned. Good evening. Will the regular meeting of Wadsworth City Council for Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, please come to order? Will you please rise and pledge allegiance to the flag and remain standing for the invocation? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, who has given us this good land to be our heritage, we acknowledge our dependence upon you for all things, and we thank you for your blessings, including the right and privilege to govern ourselves in this free land. We pray that you would grant us all wisdom to make good decisions for the future of this community. Through Christ our Lord, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Copley.
Here.
Hines. Here. Parrish.
Here.
Renacci. Here. Rossbert.
Here.
Stugmeyer.
Here.
Yurcheck is out, and Williams.
Here. You've all had the opportunity to review the minutes of the regular city council meeting on August 19th, 2025. May I have a motion to approve them?
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the regular city council meetings from August 19th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
Abstention. The minutes for the regular city council meeting on August 19th, 2025 are approved. We've all had a chance to review the amended rule number 24.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the amended version of Rule 24 regarding TIFs.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
The amendment of rule number 24 has been adopted. Any visitors this evening? Are there any visitors who would like to address the council? Please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Keep your comments brief, 2 to 3 minutes. Seeing none, we'll move on. Any correspondence?
There is one piece of correspondence. I received a warrant from our city auditor regarding Woodchurch Insurance Services Incorporated in the amount of $343,640.
Okay. Committees and commissions. There's a public hearing, let's see, that's on October 7th, 2025 in council chambers, which will amend the door boundaries. Public Service Committee, Councilmember Stugmeyer.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Public Service Committee will meet next Tuesday, September the 9th, 5:30 p.m. here in council chambers.
Public Safety, Councilmember Copley.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next meeting of Public Safety will be next Wednesday, September 10th at 4:30 p.m. here in council chambers.
Public Ways, Councilmember Rossbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public Ways will next meet Monday, September 8th at 6 o'clock here in council chambers.
Economic Development and Planning Committee will next meet Monday, September 8th at 5 p.m. in council chambers. Committee of the Whole met tonight at 6:10, and we reviewed tonight's legislation. Airport Commission, Councilmember Stugmeyer.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Airport Commission will meet meet on Wednesday, October the 15th, 4 p.m. here in council chambers.
Stormwater Commission, Councilmember Copley.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next meeting of Stormwater Commission will be on Tuesday, October the 14th at 5 o'clock p.m. here in council chambers, and that is just prior to the Service Committee meeting.
Very good, sir. Shade Tree Commission, Councilmember Hines.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Shade Tree Commission will meet Tuesday, September 23rd at 5 o'clock in council chambers.
Planning Commission will next meet Monday, September 8th at 7 p.m. in council chambers. Cemetery Board has a meeting Wednesday, September 17th at 5 p.m. in council chambers. Cable TV Commission, Councilmember Copley.
Thank you, Mr. President. The next meeting of the Cable TV Commission will be Thursday, October the 2nd at 4 o'clock p.m. here in council chambers.
Okay. Senior Citizens Commission, Councilmember Parrish.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. The Senior Citizens Commission will meet next on Monday, October 6th at 3:30 at the Suprema Center.
Very good. Audit Committee will meet Wednesday, September 3rd at 2:30 p.m. in the Administration Conference Room. Okay. That brings us to the reading of the legislation tonight. Will the clerk please read the legislation?
We have ordinance number 25-123 on first reading, sponsored by Councilmember Dan Rossbert and discussed at Committee of the Whole. An ordinance to authorize the drawing of a warrant in an amount not to exceed $343,640 for the payment of the amount due upon a contract with Witchert Insurance Services Incorporated and to declare an emergency.
Mr. President, I move to suspend the three reading rule on ordinance number 25-123.
Second?
Stugmeyer?
Yes.
Copley?
Yes.
Hines?
Yes.
Rossbert?
Yes.
Parrish?
Yes.
Renacci?
Mr. President, I call to question on ordinance number 25-123.
Hearing no objection to Councilmember Rosbert's proposal to call to question, will the clerk please take a roll call vote on the adoption of ordinance number 25-123?
Renacci? Rossbert?
Yes.
Parrish?
Yes.
Hines?
Yes.
Stugmeyer?
Yes.
And Copley?
Yes.
Ordinance number 25-123 has been adopted.
Our second reading is ordinance number 25-118 on second reading, sponsored by Councilmember Jeannie Hines and discussed at Economic Development and Planning. An ordinance amending the boundaries of the downtown Wadsworth designated outdoor refreshment area, DORA, and declaring an emergency. There's also a public hearing set for October 7, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. in council chambers.
Mr. President, I'd like to move ordinance number 25-118 to third reading.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance number 25-118 has been moved to third reading.
Ordinance number 25-120 on second reading, sponsored by Councilmember David Parrish and discussed at Public Ways. An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service to negotiate and enter into an agreement for professional engineering services for construction administration of the airport apron project and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I move that we place ordinance 25-120 on third reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance number 25-120 has been placed on third reading.
Ordinance number 25-121 on second reading, sponsored by Councilmember Tom Stugmeyer and discussed at Public Service. An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service to purchase a Freightliner Model M2106 with a Terex Optima TCX 55-NOC aerial device from Terex Utilities through participation in a Sourcewell contract and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I make a motion to suspend the three reading rule on ordinance number 25-121.
Second.
Hines?
Yes.
Parrish?
Yes.
Renacci? Rossbert?
Yes.
Copley?
Yes.
Stugmeyer?
Yes. Mr. President, I call the question on ordinance number 25-121.
Hearing no objection to Councilmember Stugmeyer's proposal to call to question, will the clerk please take a roll call vote on the adoption of ordinance number 25-121?
Rossbert?
Yes.
Parrish?
Yes.
Renacci? Stugmeyer?
Yes.
Copley?
Yes.
And Hines?
Yes.
Ordinance number 25-121 has been adopted.
Ordinance number 25-116 on third reading, sponsored by Councilmember Jeannie Hines and discussed at Committee of the Whole. An ordinance to amend Section 35.32 of the codified ordinances of the City of Wadsworth to add the classification of engineering project administrator in the engineering division and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to call the question on ordinance number 25-116.
Hearing no objection to Councilmember Hines' proposal to call the question, will the clerk please take a roll call vote on the adoption of ordinance number 25-116?
Copley?
Yes.
Rossbert?
Yes.
Parrish?
Yes.
Renacci? Stugmeyer?
Yes.
And Hines?
Yes.
Ordinance number 25-116 has been adopted.
Ordinance number 25-104 on fourth reading, sponsored by Councilmember Tom Stugmeyer and discussed at Public Service. An ordinance to amend Section 56.01 and to enact Section 56.02 of the codified ordinances of the City of Wadsworth to establish new rates for cable television and streaming services and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I move to amend proposed ordinance number 25-104, Section 1, paragraph B, and then also in paragraph E to reflect increased prices for residents outside the city.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay.
Let's see.
Do you want to?
Okay.
It was amended.
Mr. President, I make a motion to place amended ordinance number 25-104 on fifth reading.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Amended ordinance number 25-104 has been moved to fifth reading.
Ordinance number 25-113 on fourth reading, sponsored by Councilmember Jeannie Hines, discussed at Economic Development and Planning, and forwarded by the Planning Commission. An ordinance to change the zoning district classification of 35 parcels listed on Exhibit A to this ordinance from the C-1 Commercial District to the Transitional Mixed-Use TMU District and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to move ordinance number 25-113. No, I'd like to call the question, I'm sorry, on ordinance number 25-113.
Hearing no objection to Councilmember Hines' proposal to call the question, please, will the clerk please take a roll call vote on the adoption of ordinance number 25-113?
Renacci? Rossbert?
Yes.
Parrish?
Yes.
Copley?
Yes.
Stugmeyer?
Yes.
And Hines?
Yes.
Ordinance number 25-113 has been adopted.
And our last one is ordinance number 25-094 on fifth reading, sponsored by Councilmember Jeannie Hines, discussed at Economic Development and Planning, and forwarded by the Planning Commission. An ordinance to amend sections 154.545 and 154.546 of the codified ordinances of the City of Wadsworth pertaining to public rental storage facilities and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to place ordinance number 25-094 on sixth reading.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance number 25-094 has been placed on sixth reading. Is there any other business? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We are adjourned.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.